Hi there, fellow gamers. Today is June 3rd, and we are bringing you the latest news in the gaming world right now. Today we're taking a look at 3 of the most anticipated video games, and if you want to find out how much GTA 6 is gonna cost you, stick till the end. But just before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Let's start with some of the most anticipated games that are yet to be released, and of course the first one we are going to talk about is Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, that's coming this very month, on June 21st. In this brand new land, separate from the familiar lands between, we find ourselves overshadowed by the enigmatic shadow of the Erdtree. Picture a map bather in twilight where ancient mysteries await. But how did we get here? Well, let's see. Our protagonist, Miquella, ventured into the land of shadow. His footsteps echo through time, and it's our turn to follow. What drives him? What awaits at the heart of this shadowed realm? Another axis of our tale revolves around Queen Marika. What deeds did she perform in the land of shadow? What secrets lie hidden in her wake? As you will hopefully keep watching these videos, you will learn one thing about me, and that is, I'm a huge fan of good storytelling, and I have to say, I am especially excited about this game, as no other than George R.R. Martin had a great deal of involvement in the world building. And since we're talking about that, let me tell you, as we traverse this new land, expect echoes of the base game structure. Legacy dungeons, minor dungeons, and cryptic pathways. But beware, the Erdtree casts its shadow over every stone, every blade of grass. Prepare for crushing challenges, for the maiden, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, demands our utmost resolve. Next on our list we have Star Wars Outlaws, set to launch on August 30th, 2024. This game will be available on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. This game takes place between the events of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. This is a period when the underworld thrives, and the galaxy is teeming with opportunity. You will get the chance to explore distinct planets across the galaxy, some familiar, some entirely new. From bustling cityscapes to desolate wasteland, each location holds secrets waiting to be uncovered. Our protagonist, Kayves, is an emerging scoundrel seeking freedom and a fresh start. She's not a seasoned hero. Instead, she's a pretty thief caught up in something much bigger than herself. Then we have Nyx, Kay's loyal companion. Nyx is an axolotl-like creature. Together, they embark on one of the greatest heists the Outer Rim has ever seen. What I would like to point out and applaud is that for the first time in a Star Wars game, not only do we get to experience some really cool, open-world action which many of us kept asking for, but also we will have our first ever female protagonist in a Star Wars game, a milestone that's long overdue for a franchise that has spanned nearly 5 decades ago. While Star Wars has featured compelling female characters in other media, such as Ahsoka Tano, Hera Syndulla, and Jyn Erso, the games have predominantly centered around male protagonists. Kayves' journey as a cunning young scoundrel in Star Wars Outlaws promises to be a breath of fresh air, steering away from the traditional Jedi narratives and introducing something truly new for the fans. So, let's celebrate this exciting step forward in the galaxy far, far away. Number 3, we have Black Myth, Wukong, an exciting action-adventure game with mythology elements, also anticipated for August 20th of 2024. Imagine a mix of environmental exploration and skill-based combat a la Souls-like games. Wukong wields that badass staff, and trust me, it's not just for show. In one epic moment, he sweeps an entire army off their feet with a single swing. But what's the story, you ask? Well, Black Myth takes place in a fantasy version of ancient China. As the Destined One, you'll peel back the layers of a glorious legend. What truths lie hidden beneath that veil? Prepare for jaw-dropping revelations. Now, we already know that it's dropping on August 20th of 2024, but the best news, I think, is that it will be available on all platforms. So whether you're a PC, Xbox, or a PlayStation enthusiast, you will most likely be able to get it. Okay, I know you're all eager, so let's cut to the chase and let's talk GTA 6. The first thing I want to point out is that as far as the launch date goes, no news is good news, and so far Take-Two Interactive, the parent company of Rockstar Games, is highly confident that GTA 6 will hit the shelves in fall 2025. Well, that if you're a console gamer, since based on the information we have right now, GTA 6 won't be on your PCs for another 2 years after launch. But we have some good news on that as well, as according to the Rockstar's own CEO, GTA 6 fate on PC isn't set in stone, but the right strategy for the business is to be where the consumer is. If you are interested in reading more about it, you can visit gamerant.com/GTA-6-PC-release. One other aspect that I know many of you will be interested in is, how much is it going to cost? While as of today we don't have an exact confirmation about it, sources claim that it is expected to come with a $59.99 price tag. So, pretty expensive for a game, but remember that whenever Rockstar puts out a game, it's instant history in the gaming industry for decades. So, what are your thoughts? Which game are you most excited about? Share that in the comments section, and if you stayed until the end, thank you so much.
It's a vibe.